It seems like my channel cannot really catch a break, because it seems like every time I look on the internet, I am inundated with AI videos, whether it's little puppies dancing, or like a like, I don't know, security camera footage of like a giraffe crossing a street, or some really wild, outlandish things. Even if it's like Jesus at the X Games, I mean, it really is as wild as you expect it. But I feel like, as much of all that funny business as it may have, as someone like me who wants to work in the movie business, I do believe that there is a certain, kind of guessing game when it comes to AI. Because most of us that see AI and we want to work in the movie industry, we're kind of a little bit worried, because we think like, oh, maybe it's going to replace actors. And if you asked me, like maybe 2 years ago, and thought, hey, do you think AI is going to replace actors? I would turn and effectively say no. And, obviously, well, like, what are you going to do? Like, are you actually just going to do whatever you want and not have anything there, and no like guardrails? No. I really thought to myself 2 years ago that we wouldn't have ways of replicating actors through AI, or better yet, through just writing what you want the actor to do. And as of recently, we've been seeing things evolve, like Sora, or Higgsfield AI, which has been really pumping hard. I honestly think that those are like the two big ones, but I feel like now we have a new contender, and this is the first contender that kind of worried me. But at the same time, I feel like it's a positive thing, even though it can be a negative thing. Now, before I begin, if you're gonna ask what's going on, I am a little bit under the weather, but trust me, I'm getting better. No big deal. I just want to put out a video for you guys, because I know you guys are definitely gonna want to have this discussion. But the new contender on the block is Seedance 2.0. Now, for me, I had no idea about Seedance. Every time I see something on the internet, it's Higgsfield AI or Kling 2.0. Those are like the big things that they're pushing out right now. There hasn't been really something that is kind of, aggressively realistic. You have things that are like super realistic looking. Kling 2.0 is super realistic looking, but it doesn't harness the overall essence of an actor. Even though in some places it can, deviate a bit. But I was kind of like introduced to Seedance while I was scrolling Instagram, when I watched a video of a fight sequence with, I believe, was it Captain America and Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man? That's wild. I was watching this video and I was like, wait a second. This looks like it was shot in 2002 when the first Spider-Man came out. Like, the color grading is there, the focus is there, the shots are there. Everything lines up. Like, I just looked at it and I was like, how did that happen? How did they pull that off? And then I come to find out that it's Seedance 2.0. Now, everybody, after seeing Seedance 2.0 and seeing all these demos, whether it's, Tom Cruise fighting Brad Pitt, which I think is super impressive. I feel like the voices are a bit off, but the overall sequence, how it's being shot and cut by this AI. I mean, that, and then obviously you have like animated versions where they play out like an animated version of a film, or an anime of some kind. Like I think I saw like Dragon Ball Z or something. Like, and everything falls into place and feels precisely made for that project. Like, it was shot and like made for that project in specific. So as I am watching these things, I'm like, okay, obviously it's gonna get blowback, and lo and behold, it did. I mean, even the Motion Picture Association denounced it. Like, they are clearly saying that it's infringement, that it's completely against everything that they fought so hard for. But I have a case scenario that you guys probably have not thought of. And here it is. So picture, if you will, this scenario. Let's say you are a famous actor. Let's say in this very interesting scenario, you are Tom Cruise. And let's say you, Tom Cruise, go all the way to work shooting your next Mission Impossible movie. If that's even a thing. I don't know. But let's say he's going out to shoot Mission Impossible. And he goes and he does a stunt. Oh, crap. He got hurt. Dang it. Do we have a stuntman here? No? No stuntman. I know it's not the case. I'm just saying in an extreme case scenario. So no stuntman. So you're kind of stuck. You have no idea. So you have two choices. Your star actor is hurt and is going to take maybe 1 or 2 months to recover from an injury. And I'm talking about in an extreme scenario. You have an actor, may take 1 or 2 months to recover. Let's say you are giving a second option instead of that option. Let's say production comes in and says, Tom, you're going to be out for 2 months. So I'm going to give you two options. We can hold off on the production for another 2 months, and then we can come back and shoot it, and then we'll redo the whole scene again. Or we can implement this AI to fill in that gap for you. Meaning, you can have instead of a CG or a stuntman that might even hurt themselves, you can just type in, say, hey, Tom Cruise does XYZ stunt. And then you tell it, you take a photo of him, and you take a photo of the location where they are at, and you just tell the AI, this is the actor, this is what he's wearing, this is the action he is doing, and then you direct the scene all through text, and you fill in that gap with AI. Now I ask you, do you think people are even going to notice? Because trust me, when I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, wait a second. So you're telling me that the only thing that is missing from this movie is this little shot that could take another $30, $40, $50,000 on the low end, 30 or 40,000, 50,000 on the low end, and ultimately be replaced by AI, where I can spend, heck, $100, if so, and generate the scene with text, and done. There we go. And then we can continue on shooting the movie. That is a scenario that a lot of people are not thinking about. There are other scenarios, but I'm just putting this one as a little seedling in your mind so that you can think about how Seedance as an AI can actually be incorporated into films. You can use it in other ways too. I mean, I could easily see this being used for, like, you know, maybe a cameo appearance by an actor who is no longer with us in a movie. So you can have a scene, and then you can have that one scene, that one little shot that is probably going to be maybe 6 or 7 seconds on screen in total, and you can just use AI to fill in that gap. That's the thing. When I hear, the MPA say, hey, we don't want this. This is wrong. We don't want to replace actors. I don't think you should replace actors either. I think actors should be going to work. I believe that they should be paid a fair wage. And honestly, like, as someone who wants to work in this industry, I want the industry to thrive. Heck, I want more people to work in this industry in order for it to boom and blossom and actually be something fun where people can, go there and tell stories. I want that to be the thing. But when I see a tool that can be used to fill a small gap in a story, I mean, heck, people fix things in their car with super glue, even though that's not really a big thing. I mean, like fix it with super glue. There you go. You fixed it. People aren't going to be turning to you and be like, dude, you used super glue when I strictly told you to buy a brand new piece? I mean, I'm talking about like a non-essential part of the car, okay? Just bear that in mind. But think about that for a second. This is a tool that could be utilized for filmmaking. So, honestly, I see the benefit in it, even though I can understand where the drawbacks are. Now, before you ask, I know you're gonna say this. Marcelo, you are insinuating that they should just replace the actors altogether. I mean, why don't they just sit back in their chairs in their comfy offices and just type up the entire movie? I mean, why go through the hassle of going and shooting the movie? Listen, filmmaking is an art form. It's an art form that needs to be protected. And if people are not willing to understand or separate situations, that's a problem. And in this case specifically, I feel like people are not understanding how to use these tools and are afraid of it being completely changed in some way, change the entire industry in some sort of way. It can fix things, but this could fix even more things. Now, here's another question that you guys are probably asking. If you're going to replace the actor, then what? He's not going to get paid? That's the thing. I believe that if they are using this actor and his likeness in this movie, and they have that in their contract, that they can actually use their likeness in an AI software and be paid for the day, the price that they were being paid to actually do the scene, I feel like that's a fair bet. Because ultimately, everyone wins in that case. The actor gets paid, the movie gets made, and ultimately, the movie will become a success. Because ultimately, this is all a tool. This is just a tool. And if you're afraid of this tool taking away your job, trust me. If there is a tool that is going to change the movie industry, I'm pretty sure Seedance 2.0 isn't really going to be what's going to change the industry. This is going to be a tool in the industry, but I don't think it's going to be the one thing that will change the movie industry forever. Now, if I had the budget, if I had it within my unlimited budget, if I had an unlimited budget, would I make an entire film using Seedance 2.0? And honestly, I don't think I would. I mean, I could probably take an old film and probably like add scenes here and there and make like an extended cut with my own creative touches to specific scenes. Like, heck, I would do that. I could probably take like, say, I don't know, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, back with Sam Raimi. You could take the Sam Raimi films and maybe like, connect every single one of them and create like, maybe 2 or 3 minutes in between, say the first film and the second film that kind of like bridges the gap between one film and the other. And then you could bridge the gap between 2 and 3. And ultimately you could have one big 6-7 hour film, you could do that with something like this. Or you could take a film or a romantic comedy or your favorite TV show. For me, if it was The Office, like, give me the option, at least, to actually watch The Office and say, okay, I would like from this point forward to be like an episode where, say, I don't know, Kevin is the main character of everything. So ultimately, the AI is going to study this entire scene and try to find a way of making Kevin the main character of that specific episode. And I feel like that would be awesome. And trust me when I say this, Disney invested in Sora AI. Like $1 billion, like over $1 billion. They invested in Sora AI because they want to see what people create. Because ultimately, what people create and want to see is going to be an indication of what they make in the future. So for me personally, if this tool is inside, say, Peacock or HBO Max or Netflix or any of these streaming services, say Seedance is inserted into your TV at this point, and you can like stop a show, go into the AI universe, you press the button and you say, okay, I want from this point on in, I don't know, Curb Your Enthusiasm, I want from this point on to extend this episode by 3 minutes, use your own creativity and make it funny. And then it'll take probably 20 minutes or so to actually create something up of that resolution. With today's technology, it might be even faster, but it might take maybe 5-10 minutes and you'll probably have an extended version of an episode that you want of a show that you like. There are almost endless possibilities that you can actually use Seedance 2.0 or any AI that actually allows you to do this sort of modification on the go. So I really am seeing a lot of benefits, even though I do understand where these caveats may land. Now, I am definitely going to take a second to reiterate something that I've said, I think in the last 2 videos, or maybe even the last 3 videos that I talk about AI. Something very important. If you're using AI as a tool for something positive, putting out into the world something good, I can understand. But don't use a tool like this for nefarious reasons, because ultimately it just absolutely destroys the validity or the want for people to actually use a tool like this for good, for something positive that ultimately could, help the industry grow and ultimately get movies out to fans faster. I mean, heck, last I heard, James Cameron was complaining that Avatar 2 was going to be way too expensive. And ultimately, it made a bunch of money. And then Avatar 3 came, and he said, we need to make a lot of money or else I will not make 4 or 5. And it made a substantial amount of money. I believe that if he is trying to lower the cost, for me, if it's up to him to use AI like this to help lower the cost of making the next Avatar movie, do it. Make it happen, Captain. Like I'm telling you, I really, 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 really hope that we get James Cameron, coming in and saying, hey, guys, listen, I don't want AI to replace actors or anything. The performance is still going to be there, but we're using AI to make this a whole lot faster. And honestly, I can't wait for that to be the case. Imagine this. You use AI to create this incredibly lush and beautiful world that James Cameron wants to make into a 4th and 5th film. I want it to be a 4th and 5th film. And he can't do it because studios don't want to, hand out money to him. At this point, I do hope that they release, the fourth and fifth film in theaters. So I got my fingers crossed, and I hope that something like Seedance is the actual seed that can make this happen. But then again, these are my thoughts, my opinions, my views on how these things are going. And I want to know from you. What do you think? Do you think AI is going to change the film industry? Honestly, when someone told me, like, technically over a year ago, hey, a year from now, you're going to be sitting in your underwear at home and you're going to be able to type up whatever film you can imagine. When someone said that a year ago to me, I was like, man, we are far off from that. I mean, we got Sora, we got all these like little AIs and stuff. Like, I don't think we're going to be able to make movies with all of this. And then Kling came out and I was like, okay, that's interesting. And now we have Seedance. And now we actually have a fighter that could, pull its weight in the ring. So, do you think like I do in this scenario? Please put that in the comments below. I want to hear from you. And while you're down there, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell to be notified when new videos go live on this channel. And thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.
Scrolling through YouTube, same old routine, then bam, movie savant, what a scene. Trivia bombshells dropping knowledge like rain. Forget the dishes, gotta watch it again. Movie buffs unite, savants to place. Subscribe and hit the bell, don't leave a trace. Next level knowledge keeps you in the loop. Savants got the scoop, ain't nothing to recoup.